I'm just going to collect a few levels here. There we go. I want to enchant a couple of pickaxes so we can go to the nether and we can collect some netherrack and build a nether tunnel out there. And just while I'm doing this, I want to talk about something. I want to do an ode to Boris, even though I can't really do odes anymore. Because back when I was a noob tuber, I suppose you could call it, I didn't really expect anybody to see my videos, and I could talk really freely. Ow, must be thorns. Yeah, I could talk really freely about why people were important to me and what watching their videos had brought to my life. And I did quite a few Ode To's videos, starting with Muck. But I say that was when I didn't think that anybody was gonna watch them, and I was just really free to talk. But now that I'm a marginally larger channel, a bit more experienced I suppose, I know how these things go, and I can't do another one of those Ode 2 videos because I've got the thought in the back of my head that whoever the subject of my video is, they might one day actually watch it. So the innocent times of talking freely have gone, which is a shame because I never got to do an ode to Boris. But I'm going to try, even with the thought that there's probably quite a high likelihood that he'll see what I've said. So why am I breaking the rules of my Ode 2 videos by making one with somebody as a subject that I think is likely to see it? It's Boris. Boris is so uniquely special that the rules don't really apply. Rules exist only in a sort of existential manner when used in the context of Boris. Yeah. I suppose it's necessary for there to be rules, so that they don't apply to Boris. Sorry, this is it's just something that's triggered my thoughts here. It's if there was no rules, then I suppose they wouldn't apply to anybody, and then Boris wouldn't be so uniquely special. So Boris needs to... No, I need Boris to exist in a world with rules, just so that they don't apply to him. What Boris needs is something that only Boris knows. So, and why an ode to Boris? Well, Boris has brought more joy and laughter into my life than I could possibly explain. And that's a really hard thing to do, because I'm generally a very happy, joyful person who laughs a lot anyway. It's not that I'm a glass half full person, it's like the glass is full. And if the glass is already full, how do you add more into it? This is a problem people have had with me in the past. And I don't know. But that's one of the rules that only matters in an existential sense in the context of Boris. Boris was the nice guy with the golden voice that I played with on Space Engineers. He was the expert in the team, he was our rock in a crisis. He still is. a generous, dependable advisor and a valued contributor. It seems funny to say, but I always enjoyed making Boris laugh. And that seems really funny in hindsight, because he makes me laugh so much. And it was like a little while ago when we invited Anubis to join our group. The change in Boris was dramatic. I mean, it was shocking. It was shocking in a way, like in the 1990s, where the Magic Eye pictures, when you'd suddenly see like dolphins and rainbows for the first time, it'd be like, because you'd look at it, it'd be like an interesting swirl of colours, and then they'd suddenly explode into a new dimension of life and light and movement and emotions. And I bet Boris hated those pictures because they were always of some hippie shit thing or other. I like them. I was so shocked to see that side to Boris. I mean, so shocked that I don't even know if at first whether my delight showed through the surprise. Well, another rule broken. I didn't get to make this ode in one sitting due to a disturbance in the flux. And in the past, when I've made these odes, I've had a nagging thought in the back of my head, something that I've wanted to tell everybody about somebody that I've been watching and the effect that watching them has had on me. And I sort of talk stream of consciousness. The thoughts just tumble out of my head into my mouth without any real thought or planning. I just talk about the nagging thought. Hate seeing things on the ground. Anubis would be proud of me. I can't see things just lying on the floor, especially when I'm trying to mine them. Anyway, yeah, this time it's different. But that's okay, because it's Boris, and the rules only apply to Boris in an existential sense. I think that's what I was talking about last time. Kind of got off track a little bit. Just wondering, let me just see which direction am I facing in. Yeah, it doesn't really help me actually, because I don't know which direction I set off in. Oh well, never mind. Just a little nervous about digging big holes in the nether. And I'm a little close to the nether hub. Anyway, let's get on. Yeah, Boris. So this time, not only was my thought stream broken midway, but I've actually told Boris that I'm partway through making this content, and I'm gonna let him know when it's ready for him to come and watch, and that's okay. It's totally against the rules to my odes. I'm supposed to make these things without any thought that the subject is going to see them. I'm supposed to talk just completely freely. But it's Boris. And that's okay, because I'd say the same thing about Boris, whether I thought he was watching or not. I can talk freely about Boris. Boris is liberating. And I don't I don't feel any way restrained. Harry, it's just sort of struck me. I never really thought about that before. Boris is liberating. He really is. You can say what you want when you're with Boris. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'm pausing this video now. I'm about to describe an incident which happened during a recording of 7 Days to Die, which really affected me. The other person involved, Lucarthian, he's a close friend of Boris. He would go to hell and back for Boris, and I don't think that comes across in the bit of the video that you're about to see. During this incident that I described, Lucarthian took things a bit far, and I totally overreacted. Lucarthian is a lovely, funny guy, and we've since kissed and made up over this incident, and Boris has had words with both of us. And I just want to make it clear that it wasn't Lucarthian that affected me so deeply, but the reactions of Boris's other Nidites during and after the incident that I'm about to describe. Okay, on with the recording. Oh, I do like a nice Minecraft sunrise. Yeah, so let me tell you. I'm uncommonly fond of Boris in a way that's so hard to describe. Nothing that my husband need worry about. But this led to an incident the other day which, again, has been playing on my mind. And I need to talk about it to free myself of it. I raged the other day. It was a total red mist moment. God, for a moment there I couldn't move. Yeah. I scare myself when that happens, because it's rare, but sometimes it happens in real life too. And I do worry that one day I'm gonna kill somebody. I mean, for reals. I raged at Lucarthian, who is another one of Boris's Nidites. And ostensibly I was raging at him because of his moaning and complaining, his whinging and his whining, but that wasn't what it was about. And I think in my video it was my actions more than my words that showed what was really going on. And it was because he was threatening Boris. I mean, during their first encounter, I was stood just to the side, point blank range, with my bow drawn, with a headshot, point blank headshot, focused on Locarthian. And I mean, I was angry then, and I was thinking to myself, like, if he laid one finger on Boris, just one finger, he was a dead man. And I suppose, I mean, in hindsight, I should have growled a warning. If I'd have warned Locarthian, then it might have prevented what happened next. And if I'd have growled a warning, the other people who were also standing as silent protection for Boris, they might have made themselves known too. And Boris, if you ever feel alone in this world, you may be surprised at just how many people are standing just outside your sight, with weapons drawn, ready to protect you, ready to catch you if you fall. I know I was there. I was just surprised at, when I later found out, just how many other people were there. And that's a crap tree. Damn it. And that makes it quite hard to get up on top of as well. Do you know, on reflection, actually, I'm not that surprised at just how many people were ready to come to Boris's aid. Just how many people were standing protection. I'm not surprised at all. So, but I didn't growl at Locarthian. And I don't know why. I suppose because I didn't know what I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know what had sparked Locarthian's rage. And he is a fellow Nidite. It's not like he was some random stranger. Maybe that's why other people didn't react that quick either. Yeah, I didn't know why he was so angry. And Boris was being apologetic, and he was handing stuff over to Locarthian, and it seemed like some sort of incident had happened. I mean, it was making my blood boil, but the moment was over, and I dropped my aim and I went about my business. But he just McCarthy, and he just wouldn't let it go. He just wouldn't. And he began giving Boris grief again. Now, I'm a really thick-skinned person. You're not going to get at me with words. Not unless I really care about you. But I just can't stand by and watch somebody that I care about being attacked, whether it's physically or verbally. I just can't stand by and watch. When somebody I care about's in danger or they're being abused, I just can't. And I find it so difficult, tremendously difficult to stay in control. And I know myself well enough that I try, I really do, because I know if I lose control, I don't know what's going to happen. And this time, I mean, I was biting my tongue, holding it back, and then it just snapped. And I lost it. I raged. I mean, the Carthian combat logged on my first strike. But I swear, if he hadn't, I wouldn't have stopped until he was dead. And then I probably would have just carried on killing his corpse. I was just so angry. That's better. Out. Maybe sideways a little. Gonna do it again. No, got it. Good. Okay. Alright, I do need to talk about this, but it's tricky because I don't really have the words. The anger. Because I'm not like me when that happens. Let's just get that one. It's just pick up these bits. Get a few more saplings. I might just let myself recover a little as well. I mean, I wish it hadn't happened. And I am somewhat embarrassed about such a loss of control, especially on camera. In front of all my fellow Nidites. But in a way, I suppose I am reassured that I didn't just stand idly by while somebody that I cared about was under attack. But anyway, this ode isn't about me, it's about Boris. And Boris, did you notice just how many of your Nidites were indoors near you at the point when I came rampaging into the hotel? It was midday and all the fighters were indoors. Did you think about that? Because I don't know if you realise, but all your friends were circling. They were waiting. Oh, those clouds are making me feel funny. They were waiting for an indication that you needed help, or that Lacarthian was going to attack. It's like, sure, I was the one with the hair trigger, but you were surrounded by protectors, by supporters. Your friends were there. You inspire such loyalty, Boris. I suppose it's a quiet loyalty. Well, maybe I'm not quite so quiet. Uh-oh. I haven't got another axe on me, have I? Oh, but I've got ender pearls. Okay. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Well, I think let's just... just get this thought out. Yeah, Boris, you inspire such loyalty in people. There's people who are quietly there for you for if you need them. And I was overjoyed to realise that I wasn't the only one. You're loved, Boris, by more people than you likely realise. And if you ever feel alone, if you ever feel hurt, you can wear that love like a suit of armour. I mean, it won't protect you from, like, zombies, but it can protect you from your inner demons. And sometimes it's inner demons that can be the most vicious. I can almost hear you say that we love the Boris Pravisham that we see online. The bare-chested old man in the top hat and the Mick Jagger leopard skin pants on GTA. It made me smile so much. And that you're very different in real life, and it just doesn't translate. But in real life, my name's not Sal, and I'm quite a bit different. I shoulder quite a lot of responsibility IRL, and I'm quite businesslike and uber professional. In the online world, I throw off all my daytime shackles and inhibitions and worries and fears, and I become the real me. It's like Sal is the real me. The me that I am when life isn't getting in the way. And I suspect that there's something similar going on with you, Boris. That the Boris Pravisham that we see is the real you. That your alternative existence in the real world is probably a restricted, limited, less colourful version of who you really are. And that's probably true of all of us, maybe some to more extent than others, depending on how much of the real us we're able to expose to the real world. So, if in the real world you are ever feeling alone or hurt, be assured that the people who know the real you, the you that is unfettered by real world boundaries and rules, we love you, and you can wear that love like a suit of armour and wield it like a sword and a shield. Oh, and Boris, I nearly forgot. Only if buttered. Now are you impressed? Thanks for watching.